A KC24 News special, Coronavirus, Facts, Not Fear.
Coming up, millions in the state of California now being told to stay home. We get an update after this order. And we see a rise in cases in Fresno, how these patients contracted the virus. Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Barugian. Alex Zomblikian is off. Over the next half hour, we'll be presenting Coronavirus Facts, Not Fear. It's a special dedicated to informing you about this global pandemic by letting you know what's being done to keep people safe here in our community and talking to local experts to bring you all the facts. The California Department of Public Health says there are now more than 1,000 cases in California with 19 deaths reported. 20 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed here in the Valley, 3 in Madera County, 6 in Fresno County. That includes 3 announced just today. The health department says one of those cases was spread from person to person, but the patient was in the Bay Area at the time. The others were travel related. And in Tulare County, there are 7 cases, 4 in Kern County. Nearly 40 million people living in California are now self-isolating at home to prevent spreading COVID-19. The statewide stay-at-home order comes directly from Governor Gavin Newsom. The order means people need to remain inside their homes effective immediately. The governor says it's possible more than 50% of the state's population, millions of people, could be infected within the next 8 weeks, and this move is necessary to flatten the curve. Essential businesses will stay open, like grocery stores and pharmacies. Newsom says people may still leave their homes to take walks and exercise outside. Kids, he says, can still play outside. Food can still be picked up at restaurants, but again, he says everyone needs to stay inside as much as possible to avoid the spread.
Let's bend the curve together. Let's not regret. Let's not dream of regretting. Go back, say, well, you know, we coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now when the data all points to where I think most of us know we're going.
The governor did not give an end date to the stay-at-home order, but Newsom says he does not expect it to last for many months. And we're now joined by our Capitol Bureau reporter Ashley Zavala, who's been following the latest coming out of the state capitol. Ashley, did the governor speak to reporters today?
Not yet, and that's something we're waiting on. I actually just reached out to the office because today the governor is expected to announce 2 new hospitals that the state is set to lease to help in the treatment of the coronavirus. One in Northern California, the other in Southern California. He's been really teasing this all week because California is trying to gear up to essentially gear up its hospital capacity, its bed capacity, which is maxed out just, without any extra help at about 88,000 beds. So we're supposed to get more details on that today. At what point, I don't know. I did reach out to the office and asked, would it be a later press conference, as he's done pretty much every single day this week, but we're still waiting to hear. So hopefully soon. I imagine today it's hard for the governor to make a promise and then not really follow up, and it being Friday. So
that is true. It is Friday. The Capitol building is now closed to the public. Are state lawmakers still working there today? Do you know?
So lawmakers are definitely working at Baseline, but in their districts, because this Capitol building is actually shut down to the public. At least a lot of staffers are encouraged to work from home. The legislature itself is in recess until about April 13th, so no hearings here, no bill hearings. A lot of the legislation that was filed earlier this year, a lot of those proposals really won't be heard. All that's stalled. But lawmakers are out in their communities, assessing what the coronavirus situation is doing to their communities, how the legislature could help when they do come back. So that's the work being done. But as far as this building goes, really not a lot happening here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. What are you seeing in the community itself as you're out and about in Sacramento? Are you noticing a reduction in the number of people milling around? We're not seeing much traffic behind you.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. And normally, 5 o'clock, it normally takes me about 10-15 minutes to get to my apartment. And I live very close. I live about 2 miles away from here. But lately, it's a 5-minute drive, if that. Even just getting out of this roadway that you see behind me takes some time because the traffic builds up. But this week, it's been totally empty. Stores, and as I'm sure you see in Fresno, here in Sacramento at least, with, order that was issued last night. A lot of businesses are taking orders from outside of their doors. People are lining up outside. Starbucks. I saw a grocery store doing that earlier this afternoon at lunchtime. So it's just a different way of life here, as I'm sure it is all across the state.
Yeah, and it does sound like people are taking it seriously. Ashley Zavala reporting from Sacramento. Stay safe, and we appreciate your time. Illinois now joining California, issuing a stay-at-home order effective tomorrow. New York is ordering all but essential workers to stay home. The CDC now reporting more than 15,000 cases and just over 200 deaths. President Trump saying he's beginning to use the Defense Production Act to direct companies to make critical supplies.
We have millions of masks which are coming and which will be distributed to the states. The states are having a hard time getting them, so we're using the act.
On Capitol Hill, leaders of both parties working to buy struggling Americans time. The White House delaying tax day until July 15th. The U.S.-Mexico border has also been sealed off to all but essential travel and trade, just like with Canada. And the city of Fresno cracking down on price gouging. The first city fine was given to Super Liquor located at the Fig Garden Loop yesterday. The store owner will have to pay a $10,000 fine for overpricing water.
We have the ability to go between 0 to 10,000 based on the severity of the action that the business is guilty of. So we felt this instance deserved a $10,000 fine because they were charging different prices based on the individual consumers.
It's considered price gouging when merchants inflate prices more than 10% during an emergency. If the business does not pay the fine, the city says it could lose its license. To report price gouging, you're asked to call this number 621-8400. Chuck Chansey Gold Resort and Casino is closing come 6 o'clock tonight because of the pandemic. No COVID-19 cases have been linked to the casino, but Chuck Chansey's board decided to temporarily close through the end of the month. For the latest on the impact related to the coronavirus pandemic, we have a special section at the top of our website. Just go to yourcentralvalley.com. And coming up, we'll talk to a representative with the Small Business Administration about help available to local businesses during this shutdown.